Hey guys, James from AppSpy here, and as you might know, Modern Combat 5 Blackout is about to go live on the App Store. I did a video capturing the first chapter of the game, but people were commenting on the graphics. I was playing it on an iPhone 4S, or basically an iPod Touch 5th Gen, which has got the same graphics processor, the A5 chip, as an iPhone 4S. And they were saying, graphics don't look that great, don't look so brilliant. So I went, alright then, let's have a look and do an actual graphics comparison. As you can see, we've got the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 5C, which has the A6 processor, same processor as in the iPhone 5. Now, the intro sequence, you could see there's a little bit of difference in terms of lighting effects. The logo was a little bit less pixelated, but let's have a full look now. So, iPhone 5C, here's your first bit of gunplay and violence. You'll notice that there is a decent amount of lighting going on. There are some particle effects floating around there in the middle. Nice big explosion there. And we drop some dudes who are hiding behind the door, because, you know, it's Modern Combat 5, isn't it? That's what we're here to do. Now, same explosion on the iPhone 4S. Not a huge amount of difference. Nothing that leaps out at you immediately. The textures are slightly less refined. You'll see this more later on in the video, but not such an obvious difference. Here, however, you can see a slightly more blatant difference. Now, as this guy pulls me up, you'll notice the lighting's a bit stronger. There, the textures on the floor quite noticeably different. A little bit sharper, a little bit more detailed on the iPhone 5C. Now, here's the big reveal on the iPhone 4. There you go, there's Venice in all its glory. You can see the sea there down at the bottom, the river rather, looking pretty plain, nothing too fancy. Here's the same reveal on the iPhone 5C, and look at the water. Oh, look at the pretty water effects. You don't get that on the iPhone 4. If we take an actual look at the freeze frame, you can see there's quite a lot of detail in the buildings that's actually missing from the iPhone 4. You see there on the iPhone 5, suddenly everything comes into focus and you get some smoke effect, a bit more bloom, just overall looks a bit prettier. Saying that, when you play the game in isolation on either device, there's not such a drastic noticeable difference. I'm playing on the iPhone 4S here and it looks alright, looks fine. We then move to the iPhone 5 version. Yep, there's a little bit more impressive lighting perhaps, the resolution's slightly sharper, a few less jaggies. But it's not like day and night. You don't see a huge, massive difference. However, when we get to this section, this is the iPhone 4S, and you can see the water there, very flat, not too impressive. However, if we leap to the iPhone 5, that same scene looks radically different. Lots more spray off of the water, the ripples on the surface, the lighting bouncing off of it. It's all just a bit more dynamic and a bit more dramatic. Now here's the final part of the first chapter in which we're making a daring escape on the back of a boat and blowing the crap out of everything. Here, again, it highlights the differences in the water effects. You can see very clearly. However, effects like that, where water sprays onto the lens, that's happening on both devices. It's not like it's a completely different game or that the iPhone 4 looks so horrifically awful. There is just a noticeable buff on the iPhone 5. You get a little more lighting, you get a little more smoke, you get a little more reflections. Just overall, the whole thing looks a little bit smarter. And we're going to pull up a freeze frame here. There you go, that's the iPhone 4S. And then if we wipe back to the iPhone 5, a lot more lighting. Looks a bit weird lighting, but still, a lot more lighting visible on the iPhone 5 version. So if you are playing it on a 4S, yes, you're taking a hit graphically. And if you're playing on a 5C or a 5S, then you're going to have a slightly prettier game. That said, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You're not missing out on the game if you're playing on the 4S. It's just not quite as flashy. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. This has been James with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.